Hello,
All right.
and welcome to the Silly Geese podcast. We don't know what episode it is. I'm not even gonna
Oh,
attempt to say
It's
what
the
episode it
big
is.
one.
It's the
It's the
big
one that
one.
we've been planning
It's the one
since the
that
very start.
started this podcast.
it was.
Yeah, I made the schedule up until now based around this movie's release. Because
Okay.
it was originally meant to be Venom, the original three Spider-Man, Venom 2, and then like two more movies, and then the next two Spider-Man, and then this one. Ah, I dropped Willem Dafoe. Um, but yeah, that didn't end up happening. Also, I have my array of Spider-Man stuff out.
I don't have. Well,
I
I
have
do, but I
this.
ain't getting them.
Yeah,
What?
I don't blame you. Also,
I kind
who got me this again? Neve, you didn't get me this. It was Caitlin, right?
Probably.
Yeah, it was
Here's
Caitlin.
my Spider-Man.
Look at the fucking detail on this thing. This is the first time I'm taking it out of the box, and it's so good. I love it. He's gonna sit here.
Big Edge.
Dickhead. Oh yeah, we're talking about the big one. We haven't said what movie we're talking about. We're talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. Finally.
but they figured that out.
Yeah,
About
I
the
know,
type.
but like, finally, this movie's out, and it's a real thing, and it's not a mass drug hallucination. We all saw that movie in that cinema. Well, I didn't see it use.
No,
What
you
was
didn't.
what was the hype like in your cinema?
It was so chill.
Really?
It was
no
actually
reason.
Nobody made any
When we were
noise.
there was people screaming like every 20 minutes. There was
No,
literal
no one said
screams.
nothing apart from Matthew Duff just going.
There was a scene
Yeah.
in this movie, I'll talk about what scene it is later, but there was a scene in this movie where something happens and someone from the back of the cinema just shouted up, "That's illegal!" So whoever, I know they're not going to ever see this, but whoever that was, thank you. I made it so much better. I suppose we should get straight into the news so we can talk about this film. So, Neve, will you please give us your movie news?
Right. So a shit ton of horror things came to my attention this week for 2022. Scream 5. Completely forgot about that.
Same.
Going to be released on the 1st of January 2022.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that actually.
So very excited. These are just movies that have been like confirmed to be released in 2022. Insidious: The Dark Realm. It's going to be directed by Patrick Wilson, who he's in The Conjuring. He plays
Someone.
them.
One of them.
No, you know, do like horror or like paranormal investigators.
Yeah.
Ed and Lorraine, whatever their surname is. He's the fellow that plays Ed, and he's also in the first two Insidious. He's directing it,
Oh, okay.
which will be very nice.
Very nice.
Jordan Peele's third movie, Nope. That's been confirmed.
Nope.
Nope. That's it.
Alright.
It has Daniel. I don't know how to say his surname, but he's in Get Out. He's the main fella in Get Out. And
I cannot think of his name off the top of my head.
And then Kiki Palmer is in it as well, and I forget the third person. So I apologise.
I just got sorry, just to cut you off. I just got a notification on my phone from the cinema we go to, just saying, "You haven't checked in a while. Are you okay, lad? I was there. I was there a week ago. Not even. I was there a couple days ago. Like."
But yeah, people are saying that it's going to be like a sequel to Get Out, but I saw a few people saying no, this is just going to be a standalone, and I kind of hope it's a standalone. I don't know why. I just hope it is. Then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's being released on Netflix, and it's going to be a direct sequel to the first one.
Oh.
That's going to be released sometime next year.
Is that not a show? No, that's not a show. Was there a show?
No. There's been multiple sequels. There probably was a show at some point.
Okay.
It's kind of doing the same thing with Halloween. Sorry, Thomas?
There was even an origin one.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing that they're doing with Halloween, because Halloween worked so well, like there a couple of years ago. So, why not?
Yeah. the like
And
overload
now,
of horror stuff we're getting now. Big
yeah.
reboots.
Then, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore trailer was released
The
on
official
Monday.
trailer.
The official trailer, with our main man Jude Law and Eddie Redmayne.
And Ezra
Loved
Miller.
him too.
I don't know if we're allowed to say his name because of
I don't know.
controversies. But
I don't know any controversies for sure. Jude Law, what a man!
what a
What a
man.
man!
I need to watch the second one of those movies. I haven't
Shite.
seen it. Yeah, I know it's shy, but like
Right.
Eddie Redmayne content. And the young Eddie
Oh.
Redmayne. I don't remember his name.
Neither do I. I've kind of blocked that movie from my head. I hate it so much.
Yeah, understandably.
Now I have like a shit ton of Marvel news, cause why not? Hawkeye. Spoilers if you have not seen episode 5.
It's good.
But has Thomas, have you watched it? If you haven't watched it, I won't say none.
Thomas has not watched it.
Oh, has
Uh,
he not watched it? Oh no, no one say none.
Thomas, do you care?
Kinda, because
Okay.
I kind of
Right.
got into the MCU now.
Alright, we
Right.
will not say it. We'll probably say it next week. Oh
Yeah.
wait, it's the
I
Quick Go episode
apologize.
next week. We'll say it New Year's.
We will.
Right,
I
That'll
apologize.
give me enough time to catch up.
grand.
I apologize, Thomas. I thought you knew. Anyway, Spider-Man 4 being confirmed. Literally, like what, 2 days?
I think it was confirmed before it was released in the US. Which
Yeah,
is
which
really
is-
funny.
Yeah, big Kevin Feige was like, "Yeah, we're not putting you through that actual torture that was after Far From Home
Yeah.
about like No Way Home."
Yeah, there was a lot of people like, oh, there's leaks about, or no, what was it? I remember hearing a story about someone who was like, the next Spider-Man movie is gonna open with him waking up in the Venom universe and it all being a dream. I was like, don't do that. Don't say that to me. Get that shit out of my
That's it.
face.
Yeah, and then Doctor Strange 2. Reshoots have been done, and more cameos have apparently been added. You told me that, Jordan.
I did.
I don't fucking know. So I don't know nothing about it.
I mean, I've heard of the countless rumors of people who are in that movie, from the X-Men to the What If characters. So
I just want Peggy Carter, okay? I love Peggy Carter, but I hate Haley,
yeah,
whoever it is.
yeah, understandably.
Yeah.
I just want Ghost Rider.
That would be a really good movie to put him in, though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they will, sadly.
Who's the fella? Oh, I always see like fan casts of like your fella from Walking Dead,
Oh,
play Ghost Rider.
that'd be
Not the
interesting.
main dude. Not
He plays Daryl, I think.
yeah, Daryl.
Daryl,
That-
yeah.
Nolan North. Is it? No, that's not Nolan. Why did I think Nolan?
I have a
You look it
laptop.
up. I
have
is that all your
internet.
news?
Yep.
Thomas, bit of gaming news.
Right. Stalker 2, the creators of
Norman
that.
Reedus. Sorry, his name is Norman Reedus. To play Ghost Rider. I apologize.
Fair. I actually don't think I know him off the top of my head. But it wouldn't surprise me since we just got Lauren Ridloff from. She was in Walking Dead as well.
She's deadly.
She was. Anyway, Thomas, go on. On you go.
Oh, right. Stalker 2, the creators of it, were about to make one thing about Stalker 2 an NFT, like where you'd become a meta-human if you bought it, or like something like that. But because of fan dismay and not just like wanting that, they stopped looking.
Yeah, did you see that from the official Stan Lee Twitter account? They tweeted that you could buy an NFT of a character.
Yeah, that was
something.
that's wrong.
They've done that twice now. I don't remember who else it was. I think it might. I don't know, but they did that with another like famous dead person, and they were like, "You can buy this NFT." Oh, it was Bob Ross. You could buy a Bob Ross NFT.
Oh yeah.
Which obviously
Is
NFTs aren't
bad.
bad. NFTs are like They're not good.
bad in general, but
Yeah.
like using a dead person as well.
You can see the merit behind why NFTs would be plausible, because they're just scams,
Yeah.
but they're just not good. You're Kenny. Alright, you just look like you're about to cry.
I know, I'm just tired, lad.
Fair.
Fair enough.
You would be after that movie. We'll get to it. Thomas, go on.
All right. Another thing, The Witcher season 2, that's out or is coming out.
It's one of the two. I don't know which. I think it's out. Check now.
Right. Checkity check.
Yeah, it came out yesterday, 17th of December.
It's the #1 movie in Ireland, or show in Ireland today, and it was 7th yesterday.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
Fair enough.
Anything else, Thomas?
Shenmue 3 will be free on Epic Games.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And that's basically it.
Fair.
Not a lot today. Well, this week.
Yeah, I get you. I suppose we should start talking about this movie then.
Yeah.
So, No Way Home. We're gonna do non-spoilers and then spoilers. So,
Okay.
non-spoilers, anything that's been released by Sony officially before this movie came out. So I guess just get straight into some of the good stuff. What did you think of the bridge scene?
Oh, I really liked it.
Like the Doc
I
Ock
don't know,
fight. I really liked it as well.
Just fucking love Doc Ock in general. Can't lie.
He's really good, and the de-aging effect in it is so good. They seem to use the de-aging effect on him and a little bit on Willem Dafoe,
But not a lot.
but not too much, because Willem
Sick.
Dafoe does look the same that he did like 20 years ago.
Willem Dafoe doesn't age. Or he ages like a fine wine.
Yeah. But no, that seems really good. I like how when they're like fighting, Doc Ock like misses Peter like twice. So he like shoves one arm out to, like, he shoves like the right arm and then the left arm out, and he accidentally hits two cars. But instead of like grabbing the cars or anything, he just like pulls them together. Like there's a lot of like really smart moments like that. Like this is such everything in this movie looks so good. I don't know if you've noticed it though, but this movie feels a lot different from the other two.
Yeah.
It feels a lot more Marvel-esque and less like coming of age.
Yeah, it feels a lot more like
Spiderman.
I think they were listening to the complaints people had about the first two.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it more in spoilers, but like this movie is paced very differently, and the jokes land very differently. And there's no. I was kind of sad to see that there was no cutaways, because that's what I really like that about the first movie. There's none in this movie, I don't think. But I'm not like upset about it. I'm personally ranking this as my favorite superhero movie in general, I think.
I still need like 2 days
Fair.
to brand.
It's definitely my favorite Spider-Man movie, which is saying a lot because Far From Home was my favorite Spider-Man movie. Well, no, Into the Spider-Verse, but then Far From Home, and this movie pushed Far From Home down like a whole tier.
I have like a special place in my heart for like the Amazing Spider-Man, like Andrew's, but this one's like on the same level as it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, Thomas. Go on.
I really enjoyed this film a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't enjoy the other two Spider-Man films as well as I enjoyed this one. So.
But like, yeah, this one it is a lot different, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's still good. I really like that scene. It's in one of the trailers, I think. I think it was maybe it was not a leaked trailer. I don't know. But there's a scene in this movie where someone runs by Spider-Man with a bucket of green paint and covers him in it. I really
Oh,
like
yeah.
that because that's the reason he gets the black and gold suit. What else is in this movie? Happy Hogan is great in this movie.
Yep.
Love Happy so much.
He's really good. I love the evolution of Peter being the one to ring him in the first movie, and he's the one ringing Peter in this movie.
Yeah, I picked up on that. I was like, oh, how
Uh,
to turntables.
and then like the turntables. I really like that scene with Electro out in the forest. I felt so dumb. I only realized like partially into that scene why they're fighting in a forest. It's because trees are really good conductors of electricity.
Well, I feel stupid because I only realised that after you said it.
I was like, this scene looks so good, but why is there an energy plant out in the middle of a forest? And I was like, oh, it's so they can have like the sand and the trees like be conductors of electricity. It's good. It's very smart. Speaking of sand, Sandman, his design looks great. I mean, his design looked great originally anyway. But he
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
really good in this movie.
Oh,
And he's like a major player. He's like a threat in this movie.
yeah.
Understandable.
Understandably, he's huge.
He is. He
Like,
is.
I mean, he's a threat in the original, yeah. But
Yeah.
he's a lot more of a threat in this one.
Yeah.
What else? The Green Goblin suit, both suits. I still don't love the original design, the Sam Raimi one.
It's just so. When the helmet's off,
The helmet
I'm
is
like,
what puts it off so much.
that thing is fucking massive for no good reason.
For some reason, it looks better in this movie though. I
Better
think
camera.
yeah, I think like better cameras is a bit of it, but like I think there's like a purple shine on it towards the back, which you like cannot tell in the original.
Yeah.
They also don't do any like weird shit in this movie where like the lenses are up to see Willem's eyes or like the face is gone. It's just like
Yeah.
it's the mask.
yeah.
That scene where like the mask is broken in the alleyway,
Yeah.
it looks really good.
Yeah. I'm trying so hard to not say spoilers.
I'm trying. Yeah, there's so much in this movie. See, I was like before we went into this, I was like, there is a lot of this movie we've seen, like from trailers and stuff. And then I went and I
Yeah.
saw the movie, and I was like, never
We've
mind.
seen very little.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
saw, I think it was before Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think there was like 41 minutes of that movie released. And then like the day before it came out, it was leaked online. Or something like that. So like we had ended, I think like through trailers and like promotion, they had shown like 41 minutes to an hour of that film.
Yeah.
And no, we didn't see much of this at all.
No.
What did you just think of the opening scene?
The music was banging.
It
The
was.
music was so good.
Wait,
I
what music?
thoroughly enjoyed the music.
It was just a boom, boom, boom. Oh,
Oh,
I loved
right,
it.
okay. No, I like the opening scene. I like how it takes place straight after.
Yeah.
There's no messing.
There's no mess, and it's literally just like, holy shit. And then everyone's like, are you Spider-Man? Are you Spider-Man's girlfriend?
Spider-Man hit me!
Spider-Man hit me! And then I love how someone jumps off a car to try and grab him. I don't know if you noticed that. Someone like rolls out into the street.
There's a one shot that like takes place in like the apartment. I love that.
Yeah.
Just like a one take. I
that's so
love
good.
one takes, and I'm just like because it interests me like how it works and all this. And I'm like,
I think we could just move on to spoilers now, honestly,
Right.
because we have nothing really to say.
You've been warned.
So yeah, this is your final spoiler warning.
Spoilers. Back out now.
Or
Giving you 5 seconds.
mute this podcast and keep listening. Just have a different tab open so we can get the view.
Yes. Yeah, we
Um,
need the view.
what was it? I fucking this movie. That scene you were on about, the apartment scene, probably one of my favorite. I love the one take thing myself.
Yeah.
I love one take shots, but that scene is so good. Where he's like, cause you walk in on it and it's the middle of Happy and Aunt May breaking up,
And Happy's just there like,
and Happy's like, "But I love you," and she's like, "It's called a fling."
ah. She's like, aye, you're right. You're alright yourself.
Um, but like that's a good scene, and then he's like, "That's a noise. I should investigate." It's like, what?
I'm head of security. I should look at that.
Forehead of security. I think, yeah, Tony says that in one of them.
I love Happy in this movie, and I'm so happy that he's in it. And like, there's a lot more of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets a lot of play in this movie, but not in a
Oh,
bad
fucking-
way.
Yeah, like fucking him in the chair with the like, oh, I forget what it's called, like the thing that like
The
some people
ventilator
wear.
or the
Where the fuck it's called? Fucking me. To have them like breathe in their sleep, and you just are like, get off the fucking phone.
No, he's so good in this. What else is good in this? Marissa Tomei is really good in this.
She is.
We'll get to it. What else? Benedict Cumberbatch.
What a cunt.
Did you
Love him, though.
notice Benedict Cumberbatch in this movie does not say, or Wong does not say to him, "Don't cast that spell."
Yeah, that was
But
something.
in the, I guess we can talk about it. The after credit scene of this movie is the Doctor Strange 2 trailer, and it's said in the trailer for that. So don't know what that's about, but it's probably something to do with that movie, which I'm actually a bit excited for. I wasn't really too excited for it. I was like, I want to see some footage first. I want to get. I know Sam Raimi's directing it, but I want to get this.
I wanna
I
get
want
a bit
to
of a taste.
get a bit of a sip before I go in.
An appetizer.
Yeah, but no,
You're
that
gonna make
trailer's
it work.
good.
Yeah.
I guess we probably shouldn't talk about it for very long, but
Yeah.
okay, so they return to the apartment, and then there's cameras all over the place, and they're like, shit. And then they're arrested, right? Wait.
Oh,
What am I-
no, yeah, a
No.
couple of weeks go by, and they're
Oh,
dealing
yeah,
with
yeah,
media,
yeah.
and then
And then they're brought in, and they're all questioned. That officer that's questioning them is so good. I don't know what he's in before this, but he's really good.
Just him with
yeah,
like
I
Ned,
feel like
and
I've
he's
seen
like,
him before.
oh, I get you. I have a load of people like in the chairs.
Everyone here is in my chair.
And then Ned's like, I know, right? I know. I helped him with this, that, and the other. And he's like, so you helped the criminal? And he's like,
I want a
No.
lawyer.
Well, I love the whole lawyer thing that happened throughout that.
Yeah, the whole like the bit about them needing lawyers is really good.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when the lawyer,
And then when you see the lawyer, Matt Murdock is in this.
Yeah.
Played by the Charlie Cox.
Oh.
He's officially
the
in it too.
Daredevil.
We have not seen if he is the exact same character, or
Yeah.
if he's the we don't know if the Netflix shows are connected.
But if they
But
are,
they likely are, because in the original season of Daredevil there is newspaper headlines about the Battle of New York.
Yep.
So it's likely they're still, but we're not 100% sure until we see more.
But
But
if that Daredevil is the one from the Netflix show, that means that Luke Cage, not Luke Cage, the Punisher is gonna be.
is official. I'd love to see the Punisher return. He's really good.
Yeah.
You know, so
John Byrne.
I really wish I really wish this movie came out after Christmas, to be honest, because Hawkeye would have gotten its whole run. But I think Hawkeye getting its whole run would have changed, like it would have made the hype for this a little bit different, because we would have been expecting some like
Mhm.
certain things. But I really wish this movie came out afterwards, because for Christmas, I don't know if I'm getting it. Mom was like, "Oh, make me a list of things you want," and I was like, "Right, right, right." So I threw down the big fucking Daily Bugle Lego set. I was like, imagine if I got that. All I would have had these. We're not doing another Spider-Man movie, and I'm gonna if I were to get that, I would have had all the Spider-Man I'd need for life. um, I would have had a Sandman figure and all, but like, no, I don't mind though. But I just thought that was kind of funny that, like, shit. I just realized that there. I was like, I could have had a Punisher figure. I could have had a Daredevil figure. Well, this movie came out before Christmas. But yeah, what was I gonna say?
I love the whole scene with Matt Murdock as well.
It's really, yeah, it's just so simple. He's only in this movie
Yeah.
for like 30 seconds.
And it's just great. Because
Yeah.
when the
Catches
brick flies
he's just
through,
like, I'm a lawyer.
He's like, I'm a really good lawyer, and he's like, what you? Tom Holland's like, what you mean? And then like a brick gets thrown through the window, that says like, we believe Mysterio or some bullshit like that. But Matthew like catches it, and he
Yeah.
like flips it over, and they're all like, what the fuck? You're blind.
I'm a really good
And
lawyer.
he just says, I'm a really good lawyer, and then that scene is just over. I think it cuts there.
It's perfectly
little
cut.
tease.
When I saw that, like, in the cinema, I had seen, there was a leaked photo of him, like him, Happy, Tom, and Melissa all sat at a table, and I was like, okay, yeah, we're in the apartment, I know what's about to come up, but I saw the stick, his walking stick hit the table, and I saw this movie with my auntie, and she saw me kind of like tense up, and she was like, why is he getting so excited for Nick Fury? And then Matt Murdock came up, and she was like, oh my god. No, he's good in the 30 seconds he's in this movie for. I kind of wish he was in at the end, like in suit, but I guess we'll have to see when he'll make an appearance next.
Mm.
What else? Okay, then what happens after that?
Oh, just it's all a blur. They go to school.
He goes to school.
He goes to school. What do you think of Flash Thompson's hair?
Can't fucking stand it.
It's
Once
so
he gets
bad.
razor and go, "Dizh," like, oh, I hated it.
I hated it. It looks so dumb, but at the same time, I kind of liked it.
For the 5 minutes he's in this movie, I could not stand it.
What else? I think Ned has a new wig. So obviously
Oh,
the actor for
that
Ned
fuck-
is bald.
That
Yeah.
hurt my head. I was
So
like,
I
that's
think
a
he
new
doesn't.
wig.
It
And
is a new
I
wig,
don't
isn't
like
it?
it. And
'Cause
I don't like it.
Everyone complained. They made like a couple years ago for Far From Home. They made like some like tourism place made a short clip thing with like Spider-Man, and they had a new wig for that because it wasn't an official Marvel production, and everyone complained about it. I've heard no one complaining about this new wig, which made me think that it wasn't a new wig.
I thought I was the only one. I thought I was going crazy.
It's
I was
shorter, right? And it's more like split in the middle.
Yeah.
like, yeah. But I'm just kind of like, it hurts my head. My head was already going through a fucking brain fuck
Yeah.
throughout this movie. I was emotionally distraught at every fucking moment. But like, that did not help.
Well, we've spoken about the bridge scene.
But I want to focus a small bit more on the school thing.
Oh,
When
yeah,
he's
go on.
going into school, when he meets the teachers, Hannibal is there.
Who?
Hannibal, he's the coach who's saying
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mysterio.
I
Love that.
loved the three of them because I love how the one that has a background in witchcraft is being honest. I don't remember his
Yeah.
name. The one with the glasses. He's the head of the fucking decathlon team. He's like, I love you. I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah.
And the coach is like, go fuck yourself. Go and fuck yourself. I just love the three of them. Like, that dynamic is really good, and I'm really happy that they're back. I don't know if you saw
Yeah.
the like red carpet things, but they were like, um, the one with witchcraft was asked what his character's reaction was to learning Peter was Spider-Man, and he was just there like, whoa, whoa! It was just him like going mental on the red carpet, and I was like, this is great.
Oh, I don't know if you saw it, like, everyone's like on the red carpet, you know, doing their thing. But then behind it, Benedict Cumberbatch was just running from his security. And he was like, hello everyone.
I did not see that. Oh, that's great. Benedict Cumberbatch didn't read the whole script for this movie. He wanted to surprise himself a bit.
Oh,
J.K. Simmons did not get the whole script. Or well, maybe he did, but he hadn't seen it before the red carpet.
this movie fucking made me hate J.K. Simmons for the small amount of time that I watched it. I was like, I love you, J.K. Simmons, but you're a dick.
He's so good. I love how at the beginning of this movie, you're like watching him. I think it's on Peter Parker's TV, and then it cuts to his room that he's filming in, and he's just filming in his fucking office with a green screen. It's like what we're doing here.
I was there fucking pissing myself.
It's so
but no one else
funny.
in the cinema was laughing.
Because it's just like, wow, you are a fucking nerd, aren't you? But then he has like that scene confused me because that made me think that like he's the only person that does the Daily Bugle, like he does it all himself. But then later he has a Daily Bugle van, and there's like people there like working for him. So they
Yeah.
must have just blown up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That they like because of all his hatred for Spider-Man, it just went with
It
the
just
public.
went
And,
like viral,
yeah,
which is a really good way to like do that because then it kind of makes it. It allows the Daily Bugle to focus on hating Spider-Man from now on.
yeah.
They don't just have no reason to dislike him. It's literally just like, well, this worked, so like we'll just keep doing it.
And now it kind of sets up.
Him
Oh,
getting
never
a
mind,
job
I
at the
don't
Bugle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like it could lead to it.
A lot
Don't
of
know.
people have said that, like, that he probably will get a job at the Bugle now that they don't know he's Spider-Man. We'll get to that a bit more in a bit, but then, all right. I realized during this movie, I was like, fuck's sake. We go into the wizard's basement, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch basement. And there's like the 5 or the 6, I don't know how many. There's a couple like cells that the villains are trapped in. And you get to see them all, and it's like, all right, Sandman's there, Lizard is there, Electro is there, Doctor Octopus is there, Green Goblin is not there yet. And I was like, watching the scene, and I was like, oh my god, the Lizard hasn't spoken yet. And the Lizard speaks, and it's like the same voice actor, and he just goes, Peter Parker. I was like, fuck's sake! We're back to this shit.
What's his name? Reese Sung. I love him, and he's Welsh.
It's so Peter Parker. I literally was like, not this shit again. Electro is so funny in this movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know he's
him?
not. He's supposed to be, but he's supposed to be a fucking nerd. But he's played by sexy man, like he's played by sexy man Jamie Foxx.
I don't know how to pronounce the fucking the actor that plays the lizard's surname because it is Welsh. It's like Reese Ifans, I think it is.
Oh, it's yeah. Hang on, I'm trying to find it now.
He's in so many things, and he just I love him and everything.
Okay, I can't find it now.
Reese Ifans and Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
What
Foxx,
man?
he's so good. I love when he comes in after him, Sandman, and Spider-Man have their little kerfuffle, and he's just like, "Are y'all gonna get me some clothes, or are we gonna sit here butt ass naked?" Thought that was really good.
and Sandman was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna acknowledge it."
The
And then Peter
Sandman
was like, "Whoa!"
Sandman is so funny in this movie.
All
Yeah.
of them are so fucking funny.
I know, but like Sandman especially is probably my favorite because he's so dopey. Because all the rest of them are really smart. Like
Yeah.
every Spider-Man villain, pretty much is a fucking big brain,
Genius.
except for Sandman. He's just
Oh,
like
I
I
love
don't know.
I love the interaction that like Electro and Sandman have. Like Electro's like, oh yeah, I fell into a vat of like electric eel or
Electric
something.
eels, and
Just, I
he's
turned
like,
out like
fam,
this.
I fell into a super collider, and they're like, damn,
Oh
shouldn't
damn.
have fallen over, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, no, I love this.
I
Oh, go on.
I loved the two of them. They were really good.
They are.
And
The
I
lizard
like
is
how
great
they,
as well.
yeah. I think like why they look so different compared to the other ones is because they were like transported into the multiverse. They kind of went through changes to suit the MCU.
Yeah,
Like,
they had to, in all fairness, because
yeah,
I think it's mostly because they. I don't know if they would have been able to get the Sandman on set a lot of the time. So I think that he's mocapped by someone else. But
yeah.
then again, he doesn't really look de-aged at the end when he's turned into a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Man
for
probably
most
aged
of
like
this
a fine
movie,
wine.
what?
Man probably aged like a fine wine.
Yeah. For most of this movie, he's just literally made out of sand the
Man,
whole time. And Electro is just normal, sexy man like Jamie Foxx.
that's one thing I wish that we just saw more of Sandman as like Marco Flint. Is it Flint Marco?
It's Flint Marco. Flint DeMarco.
I was like, can we not just have him like that, please?
Give him the shirt.
Oh,
Does he have the shirt on at the end of this movie?
he has the shirt.
I didn't notice that.
That's the first thing I saw. I was
I
like,
didn't even see
he
that.
has the shirt.
What okay, who else is what else? Oh yeah, Electro. See, okay, someone had pointed this out to me. I didn't get to say this to Thomas because before this, Thomas was having a bit of technical difficulties. Thomas, I have a theory. I'll talk about it a bit more later. That is not the same Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Because the spell, or no, sorry. Yeah, it was the spell. Everyone that knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man was transported into this dimension, right? Or this
Yeah.
universe. Electro didn't know he was Peter Parker.
I could have sworn he did know in Amazing.
I thought that as well, but I put a little bit of thought into it, and I was like, I don't think he does. But I don't really remember that movie very well.
I
And we
think
watched it like a month ago.
I think what's her Harry tells him.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
But at that point, I don't know. I was kind of like, I was like, oh, but does Harry not just tip him off that he's Peter Parker, that he knows him? Like, does he not just make the connection?
I'd say he tells him.
Yeah.
So that's
What was I gonna say though? He's really good. Obviously, Jamie Foxx is great and everything. But
right.
I have another reason later on why I think that that's not the same one. Just so you know.
Yeah, okay.
Also, he's not blue. He's blue when he first forms on the power line.
Yeah, that's because I think it's because the energy is different and because he
Yeah,
was transported.
what is with that? What does that mean that the energy is different? I was like, what is this bullshit?
The
Well, I
vibe
think-
is different.
Yeah, I think because it's like a different reality. He's from a
Yeah.
different reality. The power is probably like not different, but like
Yeah.
similar, but not the power he's used to.
He's got to
I just
feel
thought
the
that
vibe.
was the
And when he finds the
dumbest
vibe,
thing.
he'll be great.
Yeah, because like obviously, what's the word? Like because I think because the spell drew in people from different realities, they all look different in the separate realities, and when they
Yeah.
got brought here to here, they looked different. I think it was because they changed into a way to suit the MCU.
Yeah.
Because
fair.
the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse
Yeah.
trailer. When he goes to a different dimension, like they change like appearance.
Oh, I
the
didn't
way.
notice that.
So I'm guessing that's the exact same, and it was the same like in the Spider-Man TV shows when he went
Oh,
to
okay.
like like when he went to 2099 Spider-Man in like one of the shows, he like changed from like the regular 2D to 3D.
That's cool.
So I'd say it's that kind of
Yeah.
sense.
I just think it's such a dumb way to like. It's such a cop-out answer to describe why he looks different.
Yeah, but
Instead of just
at least
saying
they don't.
Jamie Foxx did not want to look like an idiot again.
Yeah, but like, what's the word? Throughout the movie, like they kind of reference that they look different.
Yeah.
Because like in the hotel, I think I don't know. He's like, I like my new look, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Connors says it about Electro. He's like, "What the fuck happened to you? Why do you have hair?"
Yeah. He's like,
Why
what
do you
happened to your
have nice
teeth? Yeah. I don't know. I think the easiest way that they could have described it is just while he was like transporting dimensions, he was
He
just
picked up a bit of
he
hair.
picked
and
up
he
a bit
picked
of
up some
energy
teeth.
and he picked up some teeth and some hair and he like strapped it on. But like I think they could have just been like, oh, he grabbed the energy from the multiverse, and then everyone would have been like, cool. What does that mean? Don't know. Don't care. We've
I
spent
think
a
it's
lot of
like
time
just
talking.
something that you have to go along with.
Yeah, there is a bit of that in this movie. It's kind of like the What If series, where it's like you have to turn your brain off and not think about anything else that happens in like the Marvel universe at all.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Green Goblin. I love how he goes to Aunt May and he's like, "There's no Oscorp. I don't have a
There's no not.
son. There's no. I'm a loser. I'm a
Nah,
loser,
yeah.
man. Willem Dafoe."
I don't know if I was telling you this, Jordan, or like if you're in it when I was telling it to Thomas. But Willem Dafoe had put in like a different pair of teeth when he was like Norman.
Oh,
Green Goblin, he like takes him out because like he's like, oh, I think my tooth gap makes him look a bit more menacing.
that's so cool. I didn't notice that. I
They
didn't hear
did
about
that in
that.
the original Spider-Mans.
I never heard about that. That's so cool.
And I started watching it in the film because I heard about it earlier this week, and I was like looking at his teeth, like.
Show me your
And you
teeth.
Eyes for
That's
me.
really cool though.
I absolutely love the new design for Goblin. Like
The
at the
purple
bridge.
one.
Yeah, at the bridge. I love his new design. It's sleek. Of course the old design he had is always going to be pretty cool, but I really enjoyed this new one.
Mm.
And I love in the alleyway that he destroys the thing because Norman finally takes over for a bit.
Yeah.
And I like how William Dafoe becomes William the Friend for a bit.
That's the best thing ever, Thomas. Thank you. Thank you for gracing us. Also, why was Jared Leto at the like premiere to this movie?
Morbius.
I know, but he's not in this movie. He's not referenced in this
Why?
movie.
He was in he was in one of the trailers at the
He
start.
was in the ads.
Yeah,
Aw.
he was in the ads.
What? Oh, I hate it. I hate that he was in
And
this movie. I
Jared
hate that
Leto.
he's a
I
person.
don't like him as a person, but he is a good actor.
I guess we have to go see. He's not even a good actor. I guess we have
He
to see that movie
is.
though. He's not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I actually was kind of interested.
Maybe
in it
I'm
when I
maybe
saw
I'm just thinking of his performance in Suicide Squad, but
Have you not
he's
seen him? Like, what is it? Oh, I forget what movie he's in. It's like he's in like a 2001 movie, and it's just fucking brilliant.
I'd say it is.
I think he was in
Joke.
a weird film where he like worked for the Yakuza or something. I
He
don't know.
was. I think I know what
Most
you're on about.
likely. Sure, he's in the new House of Gucci film.
Yeah, that looks. He's an old man that gets killed in that. I think. I think he gets
Yeah,
killed.
because
As he should.
I'm trying to remember what happens because it's based on the real life story of Gucci and like what happened in the fucking 70s.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to.
I need to go and see Lady Gaga. That was what's her face, Patricia
Hmm.
Gucci.
Well, anyway,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. So I like what happened with the Goblin, and I like the reason why he went to Feast. Oh, also Feast is in the MCU
Yeah,
now.
it's called Feast. It's not just
Yeah.
Shelter for the Homeless.
Yeah, which is great because if anybody's played the Spider-Man games, you'll know that Feast is a big part in the Spider-Man games.
Yeah, and in Miles Morales' story as well. Who
Yeah.
is not in this movie?
That surprised me. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because the
thought
first
it
thing
meant
we
to be like in like the end credits or something.
Yeah, because especially
No.
since the first thing we ever heard about this movie was Miles was going to be in it. Like that was the first leak for this movie. There was an audio tape that was leaked of an after credit scene where a person wearing a Spider-Man outfit was accosted by two policemen. Um like a black teen wearing a Spider-Man outfit was accosted by two policemen saying, "Why are you wearing the clothes of a criminal that's dead?" And everyone was like, "What?"
Mhm.
But that didn't happen, which is sad. I think he will come in the next one though, or in
Oh
the.
yeah.
It'll be in the fourth or the fifth one. He'll be introduced, and then he'll take the mantle of Spider-Man in the sixth one, is what I'm guessing. Or
Mhm.
he'll get his own show and he'll get the mantle in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Or they might pull what the Spider-Man games did and have both of them.
yeah, I wouldn't mind having both of them and just having a mentorship kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think what's gonna happen is just like the fourth one's gonna be a little bit Peter Parker, and then at the end Miles is gonna be introduced because they can make Miles whatever age they want now because the blip.
Yeah.
They can just be like, ah, yeah, he's 21. Um,
How, oh yeah. How old is Peter Parker? Is he like what, 19?
he's.
1 minute.
Do you want me to pause?
No, you can continue.
All right. Peter Parker in these movies, he's 17 or 18. 17, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
What else?
What else?
Happens?
Yeah, Goblin. I like how the reason he went there was because Spider-Man was there.
Yeah, how he's like, I thought Spider-Man could help me. I saw an ad.
Yeah.
I saw criticism of this movie that like just because or the Doctor Strange spell at the end doesn't make sense because to our knowledge it only erases the memories of people. So
Yeah.
everyone's forgotten that Spider-Man is that, yeah, but there's still like posters and shit saying that he's Peter Parker. Hello.
Hello. Sorry, someone came to the house.
It's okay.
Okay.
Um what
All right.
else?
I don't know about that. I'll probably talk more about it when we get to that part.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I loved the whole thing with Doctor Strange and like Spider-Man, like the disagreement. I like that.
The little tussle they have, yeah, it's really good.
Oh.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
an
I
overplayed bit, but it's still
yeah.
it's done really well in this.
I like I like how even when like Goblin was there, he was stealing the donuts
Mm,
at the feast because
yeah,
he was home.
I like that scene. I didn't even pick up on that until after he was off screen. And my auntie was like, "Did you not see that?" I was like, "No," and she was like, "Oh, he just grabbed some donuts and put them in his pocket." I was like, "That's funny. It's a good bit."
Yeah, I like it's interesting the whole thing with Aunt May like trying to tell him like what to do, with with
Yeah.
with, with, with Goblin. Anyway, and that
Um.
interesting. Like she's saying he needs help, and Peter's just like, but he'll probably get help back where he is. Probably the best comfort for him.
Mm,
Yeah,
I really like Willem in this. I like everyone in this. There's not a single
yeah,
bad performance in this movie.
No.
Um. But I love that thing between. We finally get to see like big brain Peter Parker in this movie,
Mhm.
yeah.
especially when they go into the mirror dimension and they're fighting. They're having their little scrap, and
Geometry.
he's like, this is
It-
just geometry. I don't remember what it is that he says. It's like a quantum spiral or something. I don't know.
No, it's Archimedes spiral.
Archimedes spiral. That's it. He
Big brain Neve
big
coming
brain
out.
Eve.
Oh.
Yeah.
He like figures out like how it all works, and he like uses it, and he just traps Strange there and takes the sling ring off him,
And he's like,
and he's like, Ned, you
Oh,
can have the sling ring. I'm going to
yeah.
trust you in this in hopes that something good will happen.
sorry.
Yeah. I love the whole moral debate they have as well.
Yeah, like should we like that's a really good way to set up this. It's like
Yeah, it's
we
their
can help
fate,
we can help them. Oh well, they're gonna die anyway.
and it's their fate. So
Yeah.
I like that. I was kind of agreeing with Strange for a good bit. Like, I will admit.
You can see both sides because it's like us, the audience, we have that bit of like we know that these are bad people who are going to die no matter what,
Yeah.
but we also are following the story of Peter who wants to do everything to help.
Dramatic irony.
Dramatic
Back
irony.
at it again.
I couldn't think of the word when I was explaining that. I was like, I should know that word.
Big brain Neve is coming in fucking. Ah!
It only took like 15 episodes.
Tony.
Thomas?
Oh yeah. I also like how Doctor Strange does the kind of like the separate the soul from the body thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I like how the only reason he can't like take the box is because his spider
The
sense.
spider senses, and he's like, I don't know what that is. That's good. I really like that as well. Because I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to just take the box, and then
No.
the movie was like, no.
No.
I was gonna jump back to that, so thanks for actually drawing the attention back to that anyway, Thomas. I suppose
No bother.
we should talk about okay, what happens next? Spider-Man lets them all go, and he goes and he crashes Happy's apartment.
Party, sort of.
It's filmed like it's a house party, like especially when it's really funny because you're seeing it through like a camera door.
And they all just walk.
And they all walk like there's like everyone except for the lizard walks through the door, but Electro like stares into the camera and like messes up the feed a little bit and then just keeps going. But it's like Sandman sits down, he gets him sand on the couch and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he like wipes it off.
But gets more sand.
Yeah. Fucking. What happens in that? What else happens in the scene? Dr. Octopus is just chilling. He can't fit anywhere.
They use the fabricator and it's going boo 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 and then like it fucking breaks through the kitchen.
Yeah, it goes to the kitchen.
We're dead.
I love that scene where I love when he's giving them all the little bits and pieces, and he gives Electro the little like diffuser or whatever it is, his heart monitor. He gives him his pills, his electricity pills, and I love how it's like ticking down. It's making this really loud ticking sound, and that sets up the like ominous nature of like the Green Goblin is about to come.
Yeah.
Because like that's like the ticking, and as soon as that's done, it all kicks off.
Yeah, I like how what's the word? While all this is happening, like what's the word? Norman is just like amazed at the technology, like when they're like using the holographics or the little claw arm thing. He's fiddling with it sometimes, and then with the
he's fiddling
hologram.
with Dummy. I need to ask this: is Dummy blown up?
Nah, I'd say he was gone somewhere. He was getting something. He
Swung away.
Don't take him from me.
I don't want Dummy to be gone, cause I was
He's
like,
the OG hero.
I remember reading a thing and it was like, imagine if Tom Holland is down in his luck in a Spider-Man movie and he goes to like some old lab and Dummy greets him as Sir. And I was like, that would be epic. And then I saw Dummy in this movie and I was like, oh my god, he's back. He's just chilling in Happy's apartment. His bachelor's pad, I think someone calls it.
Yeah.
He calls it that.
Does he?
Calls it his
No, he
pad.
doesn't. Someone else calls it that. So I think it's Dr. Octopus is like, what the fuck are we doing in this fucking bachelor's pad?
Well, I'm not happy. No, Happy says like welcome to like paradise or some shit.
Yeah,
like
he calls it the paradise.
Even though it's just Long Island.
Then yeah, it all kicks off. I really like that like zoomed in on Tom Holland's face when the spider senses are going off and he just kind of like wanders around. It looks like a house party scene except he's drunk.
Yeah,
That's what it felt like.
I was there watching Peaky Blinders and your fella takes some drugs and it's just like right in his face like here and it's like woo.
It's really
well done, like that entire apartment scene.
Yeah. When that was happening though, I completely thought of something else was gonna happen. because like I remember like in the comics, when like the like different Spider Verses like collided, like every Spider-Man like felt it happening and got like a
Oh,
massive. So I thought that was just leading to
yeah.
their Spider-Man coming in or something. But
Um,
it was just I didn't know that was gonna happen, and I'm glad it did. It
yeah,
was good.
no. I like how the lizard is like. It very much reminded the lizard in that scene where he's down in the back of the feast truck reminded me a little bit of that scene in Suicide Squad where King Shark is just out in the bus
Yeah,
listening to music, but except this time it's not sad because it's the lizard
yeah,
Yeah, I saw fucking Sylvester Stallone as a shark
as a
going.
shark. I
yeah.
love
I also
how
love,
he doesn't want to be fixed because he thinks he's perfect, even though he's a
yeah,
big
Oh
lizard
yeah, and he's
monster.
like, I'm deadly. You'd want to be like me if anything.
yeah. He
Uh,
even like
he
doesn't
said
he
he
like
suggests that to someone, doesn't he?
Yeah,
yeah. I
Electra's
think
like,
there's a
oh, you can
yeah.
be like me, and Electra's like, fuck off, no.
And I
Um,
also love that they like kind of hint that the lizard kind of has a sense as well because he goes, "Here it comes" or something like that, and so it
he can
begins.
hear that he can. I assume it's that he can smell them
Yeah,
because it's the Daily Bugle has arrived,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then everything kicks off. Sandman dips, Electro dips, Doctor Octopus dips. No, wait, does
Well,
he?
it's what. Hold on one
He
second.
dips for a
No,
bit.
he gets fucked across the fucking
Yeah, he
street.
gets flung across the street and then he dips. Um, you can tell that the original team for the Amazing Spider-Man and the Sam Raimi movies, like the visual effects team, you can see that they played in this movie because
Oh yeah,
especially that scene leading up to the big like, there's like a city like spanning shot where it's like leading up to the apartment they're all in, and it looks like shit, but it's meant to. I think it looks like it is anyway. Um, but like you can tell that they had like a big influence on this movie.
yeah.
Um, but I like how Willem Dafoe is just stronger than Spider-Man as well. Like he
Oh,
breaks
well,
his
look at
ribs.
they're fucking,
He fully he flings them through like 6 floors.
and he's like,
Yeah, and he's just chilling. But like I really like how he's like overpowering Spider-Man. He like picks him up and like sumo slams him down onto the ground like on his back.
I was like, what age is Willem Dafoe? Hang on now.
He's like pushing 60, I think.
I thought he was pushing 70.
He could be. He's definitely over 50, right? Yeah.
Mans is 66 years of age,
Yeah. He's like my grandparents' age.
and
And
then he's there fucking body
he's
slamming
body
a
slamming Peter.
24-year-old into the
Yeah.
ground.
Hi, Thomas.
Yeah, could we pause for a second?
Yeah.
I gotta do something, and it'll take me.
Alright. And we're back. Yeah, no, Tom gets slapped around the gaff. Gets his ribs broken. Who's making that noise?
I was closing my curtains.
Ah, it's
Sorry.
We're in the middle of recording.
How
could you?
Yes.
don't start. No. Willem Dafoe knocks Spider-Man around the place, and then they're on the ground floor, and right outside is the Daily Bugle van, and everything's like crashing down, and then Melissa Tomei runs out, who was there the whole time. I forgot to point that out earlier. She was in the apartment with them the whole time, but she had grabbed the Green Goblin serum, and she runs up and she stabs him, and then he's like, "You're an idiot." And then I don't remember if he hits her with the glider. He does, doesn't he? Yeah. He like hits her with the glider and like knocks her over. And then he flies up, and that's when we see the part from the trailer where he's like, he looks like an idiot. But
He's like,
he throws the goblin bomb and he's like, unlucky, and he throws the bomb and Tom has to try and catch it. The bomb does no damage to anything. But Tom goes, we think it's like Aunt May is lying on the ground, and then she like coughs, and it's like, oh, Aunt May is alive. And Tom runs
Well.
over, and he's like, Aunt May, are you all right? And she's like,
they
yeah,
both
yeah, yeah.
stand up.
They
Oh,
both
she's like-
they both stand up and they hug, and she's like, I noticed that she's like kind of grasping his arm. She's not like holding on to him for a hug. She's kind of like picking herself up, like holding herself up, and then she's like, "Holy fuck! I need to catch my breath."
Yeah.
She's like,
And
no, no,
then-
no. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, she says the line. He's like, "I don't know what to do. I think I should just let them die," and she's like, "No, you can't do that because with great power comes great responsibility." Which
Yeah.
I love how she said that.
Mm.
Thomas, you don't?
I kind of didn't.
It fulfilled the need that Andrew's Uncle Ben didn't.
See, okay, I have a reason. I think someone else pointed out to me that it was unnecessary, and I was like, right, okay, well, there's two other people we could have gotten it from. A flashback
Yeah.
from Uncle Ben, which I wouldn't really have wanted, or the other one was one of the other Spider-Man telling him,
Yeah.
which
I
I
would've-
wouldn't
I-
really have wanted either.
I kind of would have wanted.
I kind of would have, but I think her saying it. See, I saw this in the theater with my auntie, so that scene hit me really hard.
Mm.
But I like how she said it. I just wish there was background to her knowing that.
Mm.
Because in my opinion, what it should have been is like when we saw the feast shelter at the start of the movie, I think the sign should have said feast with great power. Or like something like that. And she should have altered the line to suit.
No.
I think that would have been a bit more fulfilling. But I think it's still good, and she just dies.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? And
And I
then Spider-Man
bawled
gets
my
shot.
eyes out. And I bawled my eyes out.
I did as well. But Spider-Man just
I-
gets shot then.
Oh yeah, that fucking sent me as well. I got so mad.
Um,
And then fucking Happy pulls up.
Happy
Mhm.
pulls up and he sees it. This is the shot from the trailer where
No.
he's like, he's surrounded by guards, and then he's
There's a shot in the trailer where everyone thought Happy would die.
yeah. I didn't think he would. I was like, it'd be really dumb to kill Happy.
Yeah. And no one consoled me. They just looked at me and fucking kept on watching the movie. My eyes are like,
Then Tom runs away, and then we see it cuts to Ned and MJ in Ned's house with his grandmother or his mother. Which is that?
it's Lola.
It's
Lala.
Lola.
Or-
It's Lola.
yeah, it's
It's
Lola.
he's with
It's
Lola.
Lala. His fucking what? Teletubby.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
He's
Right.
there, and she's like, I'm gonna touch the box, which she's had the whole time. He has the sling ring, she has the box, and he's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't. And then he just goes, God, I wish he was here. And the way he moves his
Oh.
hands, it starts the like sling ring portal thing.
Did it?
And she's like, do that again. He like concentrates, and he's like, I wish Peter Parker was here, or Spider-Man was here. I don't know what she says.
Show me Spider-Man.
Show me Spider-Man. And a portal opens up in his Lola's apartment, and we see a young wet boy. And we're like, I saw that, and I was like, I recognized the eyes. You could see it for like a split second. He's like looking around. He's lost. He's looking around the place. He's not swinging anywhere. He's he's just in an alleyway in the wet, in the rain.
He's like,
It's doing more to his already wetsuit, and he looks. They're like, "Oh, Peter, come here," and he's like, "Oh, okay." And you see
he's like, me.
Andrew Garfield's
Me.
running towards them, and he takes off the mask, and it's
He's like,
the best scene in cinema. And then they're like, "Prove your Spider-Man," because our Spider-Man doesn't look like that.
bread.
And they throw a piece of bread at him, and he's like, "My spider senses don't work for bread." Is that a reference to the banana scene in Far From Home, or is that just it's a good gag that you can throw random
think it's
food at him?
I think it's a gag.
And
then
he sticks to the ceiling,
Time to go.
and they're like, "We still don't believe you." They're like, "Crawl," and he's like, "I will not crawl across the ceiling for two teenagers." And then Lola comes out, and she's like, "Can you get the cobweb out of the corner?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And he crawls across the ceiling, and he takes down the. That's not what I expected. I was not expecting. When I went into this movie, I had 50% hope that they were still in this. I was like, I believed the leaks up until the second trailer, and then I was like, what if the leaks aren't true though? So I went into this movie like, okay, maybe they're not in it, and then I saw Daredevil, and I was like, okay, they probably are. But I saw him, and I was like, I can't believe he's been on the. I can't believe this is the big epic moment, and they've had him take down a fucking cobweb, and then they do it again because it worked so great the first time. And they opened the ring, and Tobey Maguire was just like, huh? And he walks through.
40-year-old Tobias Maguire
40-year-old
Dunno.
Tobias Maguire goes through. He's wearing
with a
his
bomber
suit
jacket.
with a bomber jacket and a t-shirt over it, which I got spoiled for before I saw this movie. But this yeah, they're just in this movie, like they are actually in it. So I guess I'll add them. I'll add them to
And I
the
like
display.
I like to figure out that they're Spider-Man. They kind of just like fought for a second, but not actually
Yeah, they
fought.
both did the same thing. They like and then she
Yeah.
got tick at them because they shot their webs all over her living room. That
Oh, I
sounds a
fucking
bit-
love that. She's like, "Can you fucking clean up after yourselves?" And then you just see Andrew like putting back like the fucking seasoning back on the thing.
I didn't notice that actually.
You're so funny.
I like that it kind of showed that Toby had more experience when he webbed Andrew.
Yeah. I like them in this movie. And that takes me to my second reason I think that this is not the same, or I don't think that's the same Electro or the same Peter Parker, because they're like "Oh, we don't know where Tom Holland is." And they're like, "Well, where would Tom Holland be on his worst day? Where does he go to get away?" And they're like, Toby's like, "Oh, I go to the Chrysler Building," and Andrew's like, "Oh, I go to the Empire State Building," and Tom goes to the school. So they're up on the roof, and MJ and Ned are like, "There's someone here to see you. They want to know if you can come out to play." And he turns around, and they all do the point. It's not as obvious as I was hoping, but they all do the point from the meme where they're like, and then they're like, "Oh, what was the last thing Aunt May said to you?" And he's like, "With great power comes great responsibility." And then she died. And Andrew and Toby look at each other and they're like, "Uncle Ben said that the day he died." And I was in the cinema and I was like, "Andrew Garfield, why do you look like, don't lie, why do you look like you have a clue what's going on?" You've never heard this phrase in your life. You heard, let me see if I have it still written down. But yeah, they just retconned that for no reason. I think it would have just been funnier to see Andrew Garfield like, what?
Mine says that a lot awkwarder.
My one was not like that. Amazing Spider-Man 1, here we go.
Fucking Matthew pointed out to me. He was like, "Oh, what did he say?" That Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man has self-esteem issues.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's really well done. He's a complete loser.
Because when they're on like the Statue of Liberty, what the fuck? Tom's like, "So what's the most like cool thing that you've done?" And then like, Toby's going on about his life. He's like, "Oh yeah, I fought Venom. Oh yeah, I fought an alien." And then Tom's like, "Oh yeah, me too." And then Andrew's there like, "I don't want to fucking fight an alien."
I don't want to fight an
Nice.
alien. I fought a man in a metal rhino costume.
And he was Russian.
And he was Russian. I fought an acclaimed actor in a rhino suit. Or a hippo suit, I think he calls it. I don't remember.
I love what's her? Yeah, it was great, and yeah.
What?
That Statue of Liberty scene.
Alright, we may as well move on to it. The Statue of Liberty scene is the best fight scene in anything ever, in my
What
opinion.
about the lab?
Oh well, yeah, the lab. Okay, they go to the school lab and they're like, they make the little things to fix all the villains because they don't have the fabricator
Yeah,
anymore.
I like the little like details for each of them because Andrew already dealt with the lizard. He goes onto the lizard,
Yeah,
and then,
and then Toby's like,
he goes
wait, go on. You said.
To actually kind of make him seem smart. Like he's like, I've dabbled.
Yeah, he's like,
trying to-
I've been thinking about this for the last 20 years, and it's like, why? Why have you
Justin
been?
probably thinks another goblin shows up.
Yeah,
that
I
serum.
guess. Um,
So he goes that, and Tom takes the others, which is pretty cool. And I think, don't they think, they probably think that Doc Ock is dead because Electro zapped him.
yeah,
I thought
true.
he was just bad. I just turned back to the way he was.
Yeah, I thought like his thing was going to be fried again because of
And I was
that.
going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake. Why did they do that?
And I like, what's her, then they just start sharing like kind of experiences and having loads of Easter eggs to like their films. And then Ned goes over, so did Spider-Man have a best friend? And he was like,
Yeah.
yeah, died in our arms.
And he's
After he
like,
tried to
That
kill me.
after he turned into a supervillain, and then he's like, and then Ned is like, I won't turn into a supervillain, because that's funny, because he's a supervillain in the comics. He's the Hobgoblin.
and then
He's on my shelf over
I
there.
hope, I hope
and I
he-
love how the fucking astonishment of Ned, he's just kind of silent and just scared. And he even goes over to Peter and he just backs away after he does a thing. He's like, okay.
Quotes said by, or final lines said by main characters in Spider-Man movies. Uncle Ben in the original trilogy, with great power comes great responsibility. Aunt May in the Homecoming trilogy, with great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben in The Amazing Spider-Man. Your father lived by a philosophy, a principle really. He believed that if you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not a choice, responsibility. Rolls off the tongue.
really does.
Yeah.
He doesn't even
Cool.
say great, he says good.
I love that. I love the whole what's the word? The web like fluid thing they had.
Yeah.
It was like,
It just comes out of you. You
Or
don't have to
they're
make
like,
it.
They're like,
you
oh,
guys
I'm
can't do
making
that.
my web fluid. Or no, Ned makes the web fluid and he gives it to Peter and he's like, Toby's like, what's that for? And they're like, oh, web fluid. It's for my cartridges. And then he's like, what? And then he does the, and it's the same noise from the first one, like the first movie.
I would have loved if you just went fly.
Up and away went.
Shazam!
Shazam!
But he does it, and they're like, oh, it's weird.
Disgusting.
And he's just like, what?
And then,
Does
and
it
then
come
they
out
get
of
to
anywhere else?
yeah, it doesn't come out anywhere else is the funniest thing. But
Yeah. Do you get like a web block?
oh yeah, I like that where it's like the web block thing, and he's like, oh, existential crisis things, and Andrew Garfield is like, yeah, I've been through that, and Tom's like, can you shut the fuck up?
And I also love what's the word? Like Toby acknowledges, am I being bullied here by you two because I shoot webs?
Yeah. But it's good. I remember hearing a leak like ages back that like they would address that. And I was like, please, because I remember the leak said like, oh, they'll stop in the middle of a fight, and Tom and Andrew will like exchange web fluid, and Toby would be there like, what the fuck, what? But no, but I think it's just as good like that scene in the lab. And then they open a portal to the Statue of Liberty.
With a giant shield on
A
it.
giant shield. That's the funniest thing. They reference that in Hawkeye as well.
I was like, why is there fucking scaffolding on the Statue of Liberty? And I was like, it's not like that in real life. It's not like a Big Ben.
Did you
kind
not
of thing.
notice that? But in the
They're not
trailers and stuff.
redoing. No, I was like, they're not redoing the Statue of Liberty here now. No, not in here. And then I'm like, and then the big shield's there, and I was like, actually, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there was back before anything was released about this as well. They were like they closed a street down in America to film on, and they accidentally left a poster up on a bus stop, and the poster was a picture of the Statue of Liberty holding the Captain America shield, and it was like, we're introducing you to the biggest Avenger, and it was the Statue of Liberty, and everyone was like, well, everyone's saying that there's theories the Statue of Liberty will be the final place that they fight at, and there's this, so this is confirming it pretty much. That's it. It's so funny because they just hang it on the torch.
Yeah.
They don't remodel the Statue of Liberty. They basically are just like duct taping a big shield onto it. Like oh, it's good. But they're all on the Statue of Liberty, and Tobey Maguire is like, me back, because he's an old man. That's
Yeah.
a reference to
That's
the
it.
second movie. I didn't realize that when I was watching it.
Oh my back.
Like,
And then Andrew Garfield's like, "Oh yeah, let me fix it for you." And he like grabs him and he's like, "Hup, hup," trying to fix it. It looks so funny. It's like a 15-second scene of them of Andrew Garfield picking up Toby and trying to like crack his back.
I keep
Also-
seeing like out of context spoilers on TikTok, and they just have someone doing that to someone else.
I
Also,
haven't seen any out of context stuff. I've just seen spoilers.
I've what's the word? But I get why they kind of did the back cracking, because it makes sense, because only Spider-Man would be strong enough to crack Spider-Man's
Yeah.
back.
I didn't notice that actually. That's a good point. But
That makes sense.
that leak was real.
it's
The
all-
one of Andrew Garfield on the scaffolding.
It was about him going, yeah, I don't know.
What does he say? Everyone thought he said, "So you have web blood," but he says something else in the actual scene. It's something really
think that
similar.
I think no, because like Toby Spider-Man's like, you are amazing. You are amazing. Say it. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna fucking say it. And Toby's like, you're amazing.
I love
Say
how
you're
every
amazing.
time it cuts back to Andrew, he's in a different position.
He's like,
And they're just chilling and talking, and then
Mm.
Tom Holland's up on the crown. He's like, "Will you idiots come up here?" And they swing up, and it's that shot in the trailer where he's on the spire, and everyone was like, "It's weird that there's 3 spires in this picture." It's weird, and I think there was like a little bit of like kind of fuzz on the thing where you could kind of see like maybe something was edited out. And then the Sandman's there, the Lizard is there, Electro is there, and we see him do the big flip, and he kicks the Lizard in the face. It's so good. And then
Yeah, I like how they get their shit rocked.
they at the very beginning of the fight, they lose. They're like a bunch of losers.
that's a read.
We're shit at this.
They have to huddle up, and they're like, "Lads, we need to cop on."
They're like,
Yeah.
you're Spider-Man 1, you're Spider-Man 2, and you're Spider-Man 2. I love the way Andrew's like, I'm Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
and Toby's
and
like, "I'm Spider-Man 3." But that's really good because he's just like, just trust your instincts, and use the
Not-
comms, and then
and
they're
he's like-
like perfect. They're in sync and everything.
They're like,
And
he's like,
then-
not meaning to brag, as part of the Avengers, and Toby's like, great. What the fuck is that?
What is that? And he's like, "You don't have the Avengers," and he's like, "Is that a band? You're in a band? That's cool and all, but we have to fight these guys."
It's our mightiest hit. You know what? Never mind. Oh, I love after like that, Andrew's just like, I love you guys.
Yeah, he's like, "Guys, I love you," and Toby and Tom just look at each other like, "Okay."
Thanks.
And then I think Toby says like, "Yeah, we do too." But I don't remember. This movie's
No,
muddled
they
in my
don't.
head.
They just say thanks.
Oh, okay, that's so sad.
It's so bad for him. It's like,
But then
Oh.
they're all swinging back into battle, and they're all using cooperation. But then
yeah.
disaster
And
strikes. Wait, go on, Thomas.
I like how they all do a little whoop when they jump off.
Yeah,
Woo!
I love that entire thing. I really want to go back and watch that because like every clip from this movie is on YouTube at this point. I'm sorry, Sony.
Yeah. It's fucking great though.
But they're all like chilling around the place, and then disaster strikes. Ned opens the portal again, and the Lizard comes through, and he can't close it. And Tom has to like go bring the Lizard back, like goes in through the portal. That's the second time that the Lizard's been in a school. He's had
yeah.
2 fights in school, in 2 different schools, in 2 different
You
movies.
just can't get enough of it.
In a
He
lab.
can't get enough of the classroom.
He's fought in 2 different schools, in 2 different labs.
In 2
In
different
2 different universes.
yeah. But like that scene's good because MJ and Ned run through the portal, and then they're just in the middle of it all.
They're like, ah.
And
then
then Dr. Octopus
MJ
comes in.
falls. MJ falls.
Wait,
Or
hang
just-
on. No, Green Goblin comes in No, wait. Dr. Octopus comes in first before
Yeah, and
any of
he's
that
like,
happens. And he grabs Electro and he's like, Electro, you're an idiot.
shut the fuck up.
And then he helps
Which is
Plugs him in.
he helps the boys.
He switches a light bulb, basically.
And then it's like, yeah, this is great. And then the Green Goblin shows up. And Doctor Strange is also there. I don't remember how Doctor Strange gets there.
Ned opens up the mirror dimension and Doctor Strange steps back in. And he's
That's
like,
it,
what
yeah.
the fuck?
What is that?
And then the Green Goblin puts his Goblin Bomb. That sounds very sexual now I think about it. But he puts it into the box, which makes it sound even more sexual.
Yeah.
And it blows up the box.
It blows up the box with the spell in it, because apparently you can do that. And the spell just shatters everything. And there's all these Spider-Man villains from other universes are about to come true. Which, did you just pick up on any of them? I picked up on Kraven the Hunter and Rhino. It was a comic book Rhino, though.
Yeah, I saw that.
My brain was in too much of a fucking meltdown to comprehend anything as what was going on.
I think there was also a reference to one of the symbiotes. But I don't know, because it was just like, it looked like a woman. Like, it just had the figure of a woman, so it could have been anyone from Spider-Man lore.
I loved Doctor Strange just goes to Ned for a brief second. He's like, "Did you just open a portal?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah."
He's like,
Alright.
Alright, Ned, you're magic, I guess. I guess you're right then. That thing you said earlier in the movie did happen.
Your Lola was right.
But then the Green Goblin's bomb blows up and it knocks. This one did a lot more damage than the previous one did to Aunt May.
Oh yeah.
It literally knocks the shield off the Statue of Liberty. Or no, the spell does, I guess.
Yeah.
But the shield falls and the scaffolding all falls. So MJ falls. And Tom jumps off to save her. It's the scene from the trailer. He's about to grab her. And then the Green Goblin whisks him away. And everyone in the cinema was like, he whisks him away on a nice fancy date. And everyone in my, your cinema was obviously very boring. And everyone in my cinema was like, oh my god, no.
No.
And then I remember someone just screaming, go on, Andrew! And Andrew like comes on screen, he jumps off and he saves her. And the way he catches her and he lands on his feet and he starts to cry.
And then
because he actually finally.
He's like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. Are you okay?
And he's like, yeah. That's so good though. Andrew Garfield is really good in this. I think this is his best performance as Spider-Man.
Oh, it's so good.
I think this is Tobey's best performance as Spider-Man.
I think it's everyone's best performance as Spider-Man.
I think everyone in this movie is their best performance in this movie.
This was a great movie.
But yeah, he catches MJ and then.
Oh, my favorite. I don't know. It's like when Electro has the little sucky, whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know what you meant.
I don't know what to call it. And Andrew's just like, "Hey, Matt."
Oh,
and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gone. I'm zapped out." And
yeah,
he's like,
cool.
And then he's like, "You don't have that bad of a face for a kid. You're from Queens. You help the poor, and you're like in a red and blue suit. I'm gonna be honest. I thought you were black."
I thought you were black. That's really good.
And then he says, I think maybe in a different reality.
Yeah, he says maybe in a different universe, and that's what held me out hope that Miles is in this.
Yeah.
Especially since I was kind of expecting we would see Miles in costume in this movie, because I was expecting them to go like, okay, show me Peter, and I thought they were gonna do that. I originally thought they were gonna do that 4 times, and it'd be like Andrew, Toby, some random guy called Peter Parker that's just not Spider-Man, because there has to be, right? And then and then they'd be like, all right, show me Spider-Man, and it would be Miles. But that didn't happen, sadly. But then MJ falls and MJ gets caught, and then Ned falls, and there's no one there to catch Ned, and it's falling. And then who catches Ned but the Cape?
Mr. Cape, sir.
Doctor Strange. I find that funny because it's like Doctor Strange had to have noticed that was happening and was like,
and was like,
bow, and threw it down. without a second's notice. But yeah, the cape catches him, and the cape brings him down. He's like, "Thank you, Mr. Cape, sir." And I was like, "Ned, you are amazing. I hope you are in more movies than just Spider-Man movies." Um, but what else happens then?
The
He
fight.
gets the lizard, and he fixes the lizard, and then he fixes. They have a little bit of a scrap with the Green Goblin, I think, and they're trying to throw Toby's with Sandman in the crown, and they're
Yeah.
trying to like get the serum for Sandman into Toby, and then they do, and Toby's about to drown in sand, and he catches it in the like just before he gets suffocated, and he pops it in, and then we see normal man Flint DeMarco, and he looks great,
Yeah.
and he's just like, all right, you stay here, and then
And he's like,
and then he leaves.
"Fuck me."
They fix the lizard, and Doctor Strange. Maybe that happened. Oh, that happened earlier. But they fixed the lizard, and they were like, "Look, he's fixing them." And Doctor Strange is like, "Tom Holland, you idiot."
And then
Uh,
he goes back, and then Doctor Strange is on the top, and he's there like, "I better shut all these fucking
all
dimensions."
these boys off.
But then to keep opening up again, he's not doing that good of a job.
Yeah, he's chilling. He's trying his best.
I don't care how, but his best isn't good enough.
I love the fight with Goblin at the end. Just so good.
Before we get onto that, I really love that scene. It happened earlier. I forgot to say it, but where Doctor Octopus is first, right after he fucking de-electrifies Electro, he turns around and he sees Toby, and he's like, "My boy, you're all grown up." And it's such a good scene. It's so cute.
And then he says something that was in like the first film or something.
I don't remember.
Wasn't he?
Oh, he's
I'm
like the
back.
energy of the sun in your hand.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
With the arc.
"Isn't that it, Doctor? The energy of the sun in your hand." He has the arc reactor.
Yeah. And doesn't he like he says something that like Doctor Octopus told him to be or something. Like I got better or something.
I don't remember.
It was something like I believe or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but I really like that
He says
scene a lot, and especially since it's like, canonically, they're the same age or close to the same age.
yeah.
But I really like that scene, and yeah, Thomas. All right, the Green Goblin. So Green Goblin and Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, they go down and they're fighting on the shield, which is like on the base of the Statue of Liberty now. And Tom Holland is beating the shit out of him. Like, he is about to murder this man. He literally picks up the glider and is about to kill him. He's about to let him meet his fate. Because he's about to stab him with the glider. And Andrew and Toby are just like,
No.
don't do that. So Toby comes down and he like saves him. He catches it. And Tom Holland's like, "Why are you doing this?" And he's like, "Because we don't want you to turn out like us." And then Tobey Maguire gets fucking stabbed. And everyone was like, "No!" And that's when the kid at the back shouted, "That's illegal." But Tobey Maguire gets fucking stabbed, and he's like, "Ah!" And then Tom Holland's like, "You're gonna pay for that." I don't remember what happens then. Wait, what? He gets stabbed, and then
Andrew throws.
Yeah, Andrew throws the
serum.
Oh yeah. And then Tom Holland just stabs him in the neck.
Yeah. I liked how throughout that entire beatdown of the Goblin was. I don't know if the Goblin was letting him beat the shit out of him, but he was enjoying every second of it.
Yeah,
Because he knew
he has a very like Joker-esque personality. I think Willem Dafoe would make a really good Joker. I just think he's too old.
He's 60 fucking 6.
Unless they make him the Joker in the new Batman or in the new Flash movie, that would be great.
Yeah.
But he's really good, and he's just letting him like beat up on him. He's not like fighting back. Tom does the fucking sumo slam that Green Goblin did to him earlier, slams him on his neck, and yeah, he's about to like stab him, and everyone is watching him. It's like Andrew's watching him, Toby's watching him, MJ and Ned are there watching, and Doctor Strange is up on the Statue of Liberty still. But they're all like MJ is about to witness her boyfriend commit murder, and then Toby's like, "I'm drunk."
And when you think about it, that's an interesting scene to have Toby save the goblin. You know?
Yeah, because the goblin
Like-
is technically the one that saved Toby.
It's something.
I like how earlier in the film they also make reference to,
Something.
yeah, they say the fucking meme that I'm something of a scientist myself.
Oh,
When I tell you, I
Good.
cringed when I heard that.
that was
I didn't
so good.
I cringed, but I also thought it was really funny. I was like, God fucking damn it! I can't believe they did it. But
You know, I can help you. I'm something of a scientist myself.
yeah, he
Oh.
says it, and then they say at another point in this movie, if you don't mind commuting
Traveling to
across
another
differences,
dimension.
I'd give you a job, and it's like that's funny.
Yeah.
But Tom Holland's like, oh no, Doctor Strange needs my help, so he goes up, and he's like, Strange, what do you do? And he's like, they're all coming through because they know you. And Tom is like, okay, well then, can you cast that spell again so they don't know me anymore? And he's like, the last time we did that, there was too many people that did know you were Spider-Man. And Tom was like, then make sure no one does. And Doctor Strange is like, but then we will forget about you. Because he puts on this like tough guy, like, oh, I don't care about anyone. But he's like, we will
He puts
forget
on
you.
my. He puts on my
your
hard
personality. But he's like, we won't remember you, and he's like, that's okay.
I remember you.
And then he goes down. Doctor Strange is like, right, okay, well, tell her. Is pretty much what he says. Like, tell her this is your last time with her. And he goes down, and they're like, we don't want to forget you, and he's like, don't worry, I'll make you remember me. And then they do the little handshake. Tom Holland and Zendaya have a kiss. And then
I'll forget.
what?
I started crying like that. That set me off. I was like, hmm.
They have a little bit of a smooch. I was really hoping that during that she would forget who he was and then just be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
I
didn't.
liked how he said goodbye to the Spider-Man as well and hugged them because they really helped him.
He hugged
That
them.
fully wasn't like just like Peter Parker. That was fully Tom.
I think it was a bit of both, but it was like Tobey Maguire and Andrew are just like, "Come here, buddy,
I was.
come here," and then Tom Holland's like, he comes down and he's like, he's like stuttering, and they're like, "We know what you want to say. Come here," and they all hug, and I was just like,
That
"What did
threw
he
me
want?"
off.
He was like, I saw that scene, and I was like, "What did he want to say though?"
Yeah,
We
but,
don't know.
it's what we do.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's what we do, or with great power comes great responsibility, or whatever it is. But then the rift closes, and then they all disappear like little ghosts. And then MJ and Ned are just. Then that scene just ends. I don't know how they got off the Statue of Liberty.
Dude, what the fuck were we doing here?
I'd say Doctor Strange
Doctor
like,
Strange just magics them away, I suppose.
Yeah. And then we get, to like Peter getting an apartment, and he's like, rent is due on the first day of the month, or whatever the fuck.
I was expecting
then-
that to be the same guy from the originals.
Yes!
I was so sad
Is he-
it wasn't.
What?
I was so sad it wasn't the guy from the originals.
But we
It's
don't see him.
French.
So
Yeah,
is
but
it?
it doesn't sound.
Ah,
Next time
I
I
don't
see,
know.
next time this movie, Spider-Man 4, if it's not the rent lad and his fucking daughter that wants to fuck Peter, I'm gonna throw a fucking fight.
But before that happens, Thomas like he goes to the cafe that MJ works at. I never said that Zendaya works at, and he's like he has a little note, and he's trying to practice like, "Hi, I'm Peter Parker. You probably don't remember me," and then he goes in and he's like, "Hi, I'm Peter Parker. I want a coffee." It
Bitch.
seems like Ned doesn't remember MJ either. They don't know each
No.
other.
They do.
They don't, because she talks about him being in her college class. They're not like
Oh, then-
friends.
I'd say they're friends now.
They're
Like,
probably like, from like when they forgot, they're probably like, how the fuck do we know each other? Because there's nothing like connecting them anymore. So they
Yeah.
probably just grew apart in school.
Mm.
This happens at Christmas.
And it's like, wait, what was that? I thought that Ned and MJ were dating in that scene
So did I.
because he
Yeah,
comes
so-
in and he's like, "Hi," and he
You
like
fully expect him to go, "Hey, babe."
yeah,
something
you
like
fully expect him to like walk in and like, especially since that's Peter going back to her to like talk about her or
Yeah.
talk to her
Yeah.
about it, and it's like, nope, they don't know each other or possibly don't know each other, and Peter doesn't get to say what he wanted to MJ, and then he goes and he has his new apartment, and he has a sewing machine and he sews his new suit, and let me tell you, that new suit
When I
is so
When-
nice.
when I first saw the shit, I wasn't like, "Oh, he made his own new suit." I was like, "Oh, metallics."
It's so it's Thomas. What do you think of the new suit?
All right. So from the glimpses I got, I saw like the fabric thing. So he's handmade it, which I
Yeah.
love. That was
This is the first
that was my-
Spider-Man suit he's made.
yeah, like not with tech or anything. That's what I wanted. You know, I've told you before that I preferred that. Like he had
The
no tech or
lenses
anything.
are still mechanical, I believe.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like
That's
that
fine.
still shows he's kind of smart. You know,
Hmm.
like it's actually like a classic suit that he's made,
Yeah.
and it's not just Stark making it, which
It
I
has
enjoy.
it has a red emblem on the back of it again.
Yeah, that was my one problem. Like with all the with the MCU, that he didn't make it himself, or like it was all tech and stuff, and now
Yeah.
it's just regular. And I noticed like from the glimpses, I think he got like his inspiration from the two others because he got the boots.
He did. He
From-
has it seems to have the shape, the like pattern shape of Andrew's, but it seems to have the colours of Toby's.
And the boots.
And the boots. Ah!
And I think
Every
like
superhero is getting boots this year. The Flash got his golden
Yeah.
boots in the new season, and everyone was like, wow.
I think what's her the that his suit, like the emblems, he probably has like the front emblem, probably like Toby's, I mean the back is Andrew's
No, I
or
don't.
something.
It seems like, oh shit. It seems like again they've kind of mixed the emblems a little bit, where it's like
Hmm.
they resemble. The emblem looks like a wider version of Toby's. But I don't know, it's kind of a mix of all three. It looks really nice, and you
Yeah,
can't really see it
which
very
is-
well.
And it just looks like Spider-Man kind of. Well,
it's
from
the
what we've seen.
spectacular suit kind of, or like the I don't know, just the
So-
it's the classic suit.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's just
that
the
like
classic suit in live action. I don't love how it's shiny, but I think we'll have to. I think
That
I
was
want to
the
see it in
selection.
the daytime properly.
and CGI as
Yeah.
well.
So I
But
will.
oh,
Go on.
sorry.
No, go on.
I just like what I like where the MCU's going now. All this.
Yeah, it's like
I'm now a fan of Spider-Man MCU.
yeah, because you didn't love him. You thought Homecoming was
Yeah.
okay, and you thought Far From Home was kind of meh.
Yeah, because he wasn't like his own person. He was still dealing with
He
people.
was still like Stark's golden boy.
Yeah, a shadow. But now he's becoming his own person, which I thoroughly enjoyed. That's why I wanted from the start. Kinda.
The credits of this movie are really cool. Like I know they're always animated, but it really reminded me of the Spider-Verse, like Into the Spider-Verse, which
Yeah.
Tom Holland was approached to be in. But after he said, "Yeah, I'd love to," he never got word back again. So it'll be interesting to see if he's in one of them. He's in
Yeah.
Fortnite now. He came out today, I think.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
He's voiced by Tom Holland in the trailer, and Zendaya is also in Fortnite. That's fun. But I guess we have to talk about it. We've talked about the after credit scene. So if you saw Venom 2, you'll know that with everyone knowing Peter Parker's identity, for some reason Venom was also brought across. For some reason. And he's brought across the two universes, and he's in a bar in Hawaii?
He's in a bar somewhere, and he's like,
Hawaii,
"Tell me
Mexico,
what the
Cuba.
fuck's going on?"
And he's like, okay, so there was a big green man. There was a big man in a tin suit. There was an alien called Thanos.
And he loved his stones.
He loved his stones. And then he's like, "What the fuck?" And your man at the bar is like, "I don't know, man. Don't know what to tell you." And
The name.
then he just dips,
Well,
but
paying.
without paying. And your man is like, "Okay, what the fuck?" And then we get a zoom in on the counter, and Venom has detached a little bit of himself. Because in the comics, Venom is in love with Spider-Man. That's the reason. That's why I think I said this like or to you anyway, Neve. That's why he cannot achieve full symbiosis with Eddie because he has feelings for Spider-Man. But yeah, he's just in Venom is technically in the MCU now, and he's in the Venomverse or the Sony. What is the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters? I think it's
No,
called.
that's so fucking long.
I don't know. It's the SP MCU, I think. Yeah. Um, but so that begs the question. Morbius takes place in the MCU then, right? Or does he take place in another? Because there's a poster of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man with the writing liar over it
Yeah,
in the
it's
Morbius
going to be a
trailer.
complicated few months.
Yeah, and then Vulture is also in that movie.
Again, complicated few
Complicated few months.
Yeah, but I don't think the Vulture is like the Vulture.
I think he will be. I think
I
it's gonna
think
be.
it is.
I think it's him after prison because if he wasn't blipped, he would have served his prison time. Right? I don't know how long he's put in prison for, but like you could.
Probably like 10 years.
Ah, yeah, true. But you could just say anything. You could say like someone bailed him out. And like anything is really possible in this. I don't think he'll don the Vulture costume, but I think he'll still be that version of the character.
He'll be the big man in the chair with a
Be the big
cigar
man.
going.
Which also kind of makes me hope that we'll see the Scorpion.
Yeah.
Because I like that. I like the actor looks really cool, and they've teased it all the way back in Homecoming and just never brought it back up again.
Yeah.
So I kind of hope that he's in it. I really hope they make their own version of the Sinister Six. Just these nobodies from the normal universe.
Oh,
What?
my phone's dying.
Oh, okay. We're gonna wrap it up now anyway.
2%. Yeah.
But yeah, what are you gonna give this out of a 10 then? If
I'll
you could give this
go.
10 Spider-Man out of 10 Spider-Man out of 10 Spider-Man, how many would you give it?
I'd give it 10. It's everything that I wanted anyway.
Thomas?
Yeah, 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it now makes me want to watch the MCU and see Spider-Man further on.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a
Actually,
10 because, as I said, this is my favorite, possibly my favorite superhero movie. That changes a lot, but my favorite superhero movie was possibly Suicide Squad.
Oh, that.
Like Suicide Squad, The Dark Knight, Endgame, Far From Home, Into the Spider-Verse. Kind of my favorites in general.
Yeah.
Guardians 2 and Eternals obviously are up there, but I think this is shaped to be just my favorite superhero movie in general.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been that without the other two Spider-Men as well. I don't think Andrew and Toby are essentially necessary, but I think they make this movie even better than it was.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 10. If I could give it any more, I would. But
11.
I hope this movie wins an award. It probably won't. It'll probably win like best CGI or best sound design or best who cares.
Fucking, I'd love to see if like Tom or fucking Willem were nominated for something, or even Marissa Tomei.
I hope any of them are awarded an Oscar or nominated for an Oscar because they deserve it.
I forgot Marissa Tomei has an Oscar.
For what?
I don't know. I think it's probably either best supporting actress or like something.
I'll look it up now. Marissa Tomei. She won for the 1992 comedy My Cousin Vinny. She received the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She received 2 additional Academy Award nominations for The Bedroom and The Wrestler.
Oh.
What are any of these 2 movies?
My phone's on 1.
Ah!
Right.
Oh,
I love this movie.
yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. And I think we should talk about. I think we should finally. Did we say last week what we're doing for Christmas? I don't remember.
No.
We're
We'll keep
recording.
it secret.
We're
I'll
releasing.
keep it secret, yeah.
Okay.
We'll keep
Will
it
we say
secret.
the
Secret.
first one,
Secret.
or will we keep them both
No,
secret?
no, no, no. We're both
Right,
secret.
okay.
Secret.
Uh,
Secret. Come on.
New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, you are getting an episode each. The Christmas Eve one will be a bit shorter, but still fun.
An
Um,
appetite. And
an
then we have
appetizer.
New Year's.
And then we have New Year's as well. But yeah, I've been Jordan.
I've been Eve.
And I've been Thomas.
That's it. Yeah. Good luck, lads.